We're talking about Amon, the most powerful bender in the history of the Avatar series, probably. Amon is the most powerful waterbender we've ever seen, being able to bloodbend people without the full moon being out, and that is quite the feat, with only 3 people being able to do this in verse. But the only thing that he can do, and what makes him the most powerful bender, is the fact that he can take away people's bending. And he does this, according to people in the universe, by using blood bending to chi block in a special way, essentially blocking off a person's ability to access their bending. But what if this wasn't true? What if this wasn't an advanced form of water bending? After all, Tenzin says that the only person who should be able to take away a person's bending is the Avatar. First, we have to talk about the evidence provided on why. And the reason we know this is because Tarlok, who is Amon's brother, says to Avatar Korra he recognized the sensation of his brother bloodbending him, which means that the bending that's associated with taking a person's bending away is associated with bloodbending or waterbending. And this is the only evidence we have, Tarlok's word. Not that there's anything wrong with Tarlok's word, but when Amon resisted his bloodbending and then also used bloodbending to get him in this position, it may not have been entirely bloodbending. Now let's get to the core of the theory, which is during one of his first rousing speeches in Republic City. During this speech, he says that the spirits had chosen him as a person who is going to take away people's bending. And I've always found that particular sentence fascinating, especially since we know that spirits have the ability to give people that ability. And there is also spirits without the influence of Vatu who do actually despise humans. And let's not also forget the origin of bending. Bending was given to people as a means of defense against spirits, which means that bending could be seen as something by spirits that is violent. It's something that is used to silence them. So it would make sense if a spirit gave Amon this ability. And then there's the fact that Amon did have a large portion of his life be a secret. The only thing we know about Amon is that as a somewhat older teenager, what he did was escape from his father, and then at some point he went to Republic City in order to make the Equalist organization. This would be enough time for Amon, otherwise known as Noatak, to go on a spiritual journey. Unfortunately, there are holes with this theory, the main one being that Noatak is a liar. We saw him lie about the firebending on his face. Who's to say he wouldn't lie about spirits granting him this ability? Now, do I think that Noatak had a mastermind behind the scenes that was a spirit? No, but I would be open to an idea of a spirit influencing him, especially since spirits take part of the entire story of Korra and its villains. Unalaq's goal was to become a dark avatar. Zahir's goal was to stop the avatar cycle and make balance chaotic again. And Kuvira showed the fallacy, is fallacy the right word? Of commingling technology with spiritual warfare. The giant spirit mech that shot spirit beams, yeah, that was not a good idea. It caused a whole other spirit portal to be open. The only villain in The Legend of Korra who has had no spiritual influence is Amon, unless what he said is true about a spirit giving him the ability to take bending away.